Last game of the night. The last game of the night, Vegas and the Chicago Blackhawks. Chicago, the home team, getting their anthem and all that, but doesn't matter which jersey a team's wearing right now. It's completely different than Edmonton. This Vegas Golden Knights team is one that is not giving Chicago daylight. Marc-Andre Fleury went back to the gold pads tonight. And Marc-Andre Fleury looked completely different than he did in the round robin, where he looked kind of, I don't know, pedestrian in his one appearance. Looked good tonight. And he tied himself with a Hall of Famer on the record in the record books with his 80th win tonight. So he ties himself with Ken Dryden. And again, it's not a matter of whether or not Fleury's going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's just, does he get in on the first ballot or do they make him wait a little while? I think he probably gets in on the first ballot, but that's me. And I know that's a debate we can have at another time about Fleury's place in the all-time greats list and whether he is one of the better goalies in history of his generation or whatever, because Fleury, again, draws a lot of differing opinions. Tonight, though, Pacioretty was in the lineup. Doesn't get on the board, but he was prominent. Fleury being the starter. Only mildly surprising because they play again tomorrow. So Leonard will be in the net tomorrow. Kane could have been getting extra shifts tonight. Pretty sure he did, but he wasn't the only one getting extra shifts for the Blackhawks in what was a must-win. Smith takes a penalty early. The Hawks get a power play, and they actually pay for it. So it's a shorthanded goal. And it's William Karlsson from Stone at 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Great goal. I talk a lot about William Karlsson being my favorite member of the Golden Knights, and it's goals like that make me say, yep, pretty good player. Pretty excellent all-around talent, good at both ends of the ice. He's a good penalty killer. He's good on the power play. He does a little bit of everything. So Karlsson does that, and then DeBrincat got a couple of chances. Boy, did I not realize how many times I'd be writing down DeBrincat's name tonight. But a strong penalty kill overall. Murphy takes a penalty. Vegas gets a power play, but the shots were only 4 each at the halfway mark. So this was an evenly played beginning, but Vegas being up 1-0, it felt like that was the biggest storyline here, was that even though the play was kind of even, Chicago is doing their best to limit Vegas' chances. Vegas doesn't panic. Vegas doesn't do what an Edmonton might have done, where they might try to push the play and open up and then allow you a great chance on a turnover. Evenly played 15 minutes. To start the game, but again, Vegas with the lead. Martinez takes a penalty. The Hawks go to the power play, and it wasn't really an issue for Vegas, the penalty kill tonight, especially when you consider the shorthanded goal and the offer that was pitched on the power play by the Chicago Blackhawks. Fleury looked pretty darn good when chances were there for the Chicago Blackhawks. Kane hits the post and then missed the open net. So yawning cage, and he misses it. And, you know, we've seen that in these playoffs. Basically 1 or 2 every game where somebody misses that net. Smith takes a penalty in the last minute. That was his second penalty of the first period, the Hawks' third power play. Second period, DeBrincat gets his 4th chance of the game. And for a while there, DeBrincat was the only one being credited with dangerous chances for Chicago. So if you're looking for actual scoring opportunities, it was all Alex DeBrincat. There was no other Blackhawk that was getting those, which is good news for DeBrincat and bad news for the Blackhawks. Smith had a chance to miss high, and then he did it again. So Riley Smith with a good opportunity. All right, I missed that one high. All right, I'm going to take this one. And then he, again, missed high. So Smith, decent enough game. He doesn't get on the board tonight either. Crawford then stopped a Holden chance from the point, which I thought was more dangerous than it looked. Kind of a fluttering shot from the blue line. Theodore then had a chance that was stopped. And then Slater Cuckoo takes a penalty. Vegas goes to the power play. I will say this for Slater Cuckoo. I've criticized him for all the penalties he took during regular season games. I have not noticed a lot of that from him in the postseason, whether it was the play-in round or this one. Playing well and playing disciplined as well. Schmidt then had a drive that was stopped by Crawford on the penalty kill. That was the only shot on the power play by the Vegas Golden Knights. Taves had a break, but he was kind of gassed, and then Schmidt took advantage of that and took the puck off his stick. Fleury then denied DeBrincat again, and for DeBrincat, great game, but this is exactly the reason for all of his frustrations so far. Nylander takes a hooking call. Vegas goes to the power play. It's the only time I've had Nylander's name on the board that I can think of in the first 3 games, so After a decent enough series against Edmonton, has been a tougher one for Alex Nylander here. Kampf then nearly got a shorthanded chance. Keep in mind, David Kampf has already had a goal shorthanded recently. Crawford saved Theodore, and Marchessault looked pretty dangerous on that one. We then end up with a 3-on-1. Patrick Brown gets his first career playoff goal from Tuck and Schmidt at 15:23, and that was a real kick for Chicago, because it seemed like it was an even game to that stage. Overall, kind of sort of even, and then now it's 2-0. So got to be a tough one. Caggiula gets a chance to respond. But this was honestly a much better period for Vegas than the first, and the Hawks really needed one. So McNabb, being a nice guy, he's like, all right, I'll take a penalty in the last minute, or late. The Hawks get the power play, but they can't score. Third period, Taves was turned aside by Fleury, and DeBrincat, lots of chances. Alex DeBrincat, tons of chances, just he couldn't buy one in this. And then only Mata, of all people, with his third goal of the playoffs thus far. He's having a good playoffs. Caggiula and Kane with the assists at 6:21. And then the question became one of, okay, so they got that goal, and it kind of went under the arm of Fleury, and it was a good goal, but it was one that maybe Fleury's going to look at on replay and say, I got to catch that one. I should be able to stop that. So you ask yourself, can the Hawks add to that? Can they get that momentum? That drive they had against the Edmonton Oilers, where they could go on these runs where they get a bunch of goals? The answer is no. The Vegas Golden Knights don't really do the whole shift and switching up of things and allowing you all those opportunities. Although I will say that when they showed on the clock there hadn't been a shot by Vegas in over 13 minutes, you could kind of sort of feel that, because Chicago, it seemed like, was pushing the play. They were the ones with the puck. A lot of opportunities from Vegas were going over the net, around the net, not hitting the net, or they were being blocked by the Chicago Blackhawks, who had to either win tonight or, you're in this situation where it's done. 8 shots for DeBrincat tied a career high. I don't know if he got the 9th or not. And at this point, Jeremy Colleton figures, DeBrincat's the hot hand. I'm going to double shift him. So DeBrincat was playing way more time tonight than I think he played in the rest of the playoffs. And it just wasn't working. Kirby Dach had a pretty good chance late. He was denied. Vegas presses with 3 minutes left. And at this stage, Vegas, looking at the clock and looking at the scoreboard, they're saying, okay, well, we just have to kill this off now. We just have to treat this like we're killing a penalty, keep it in their end, make sure they're not getting any big chances, and that's how they played it. Cousins had a chance that rolled off his stick. They pull the goalie with 1 minute and 50 seconds left, but there wasn't really that big push, and when there was some sort of a push by the Chicago Blackhawks, Marc-Andre Fleury was there. Best game I've seen Fleury play in a while. And so I know they'll go with Leonard tomorrow. I'm aware they'll go with Leonard tomorrow, but pretty good performance by Marc-Andre Fleury today for the Vegas Golden Knights. Shots were 9-6 Chicago in the first, 12-7. So Chicago had the 9-6 lead in shots in the first, Vegas 12-7 in the second, and then Chicago outshot Vegas 11-8 in the third. Final shots were 27-26 for Chicago. The Blackhawks were game tonight. They were, and much like in game 2, they had moments where they looked like they were ready to score and maybe make this a series, but they're down 3-0. So it's not working for them. Hits were 30-26 in favor of Vegas. The power plays, Vegas was 0 for 3. Chicago was 0 for 4. Fleury, 25 saves on 26 shots. Crawford, 24 saves on 26 shots. A combined age of 70 in net between Crawford and Fleury ended up being the better of the two. But I thought Corey Crawford had a good game. Chicago's inability to get one on the power play that wasn't really a huge problem against Edmonton has become a problem in this series. But Vegas, as a defensive team, plays that shell very, very well. They can blanket other teams. And one thing I'll say for Vegas, one reason that I think the Golden Knights are seen as a favorite in this tournament is that they have the offensive players, they have the physicality, they have the defense, they have the goaltending. No matter what kind of game it is, Vegas can adapt and they can counterattack. And no matter what kind of game you bring at them, they will have an answer. And tonight they had that answer for Chicago eventually. Again, they went 13 minutes without a shot. That's where Marc-Andre Fleury was keeping it under control for them. And again, they win this one a squeaker, 2-1. But they're up 3-0. So Chicago now to come back from 3 down and win 4 in a row, it is highly unlikely against the Vegas Golden Knights. Keep in mind, they got swept in 2017, but if you look all the way back to 2011, Vancouver had them down 3-0, and then ended up needing overtime in Game 7 to finish it. The thing is, I think Vegas as a defensive team is a little better than Vancouver was in 2011. But hey, we'll see, right? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding this game. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. I do have to do the preview now for tomorrow's games tonight before I close it out, because we get an early start again tomorrow with 5 games, 5 NHL games on, and it includes this series tomorrow where Vegas has a chance to end it and get a nice extended break before meeting their opponents in the next round, who could be Calgary, it could be I guess it could be Vancouver if Dallas and Colorado win. The only one they can't really play, they can't play Dallas, they can't play Colorado, but getting ahead of myself. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, St. Louis too. Thanks again for all your support, and I will talk to you again soon.